Welcome to Glitch Cube. We're a gaming podcast, and each week we take a deeper look into the art of video games. I'm Christian.
I'm Chris.
And what's up, you Cubies out there? We're back again for another episode. And before we begin, I would like to start it off with our little weekly update. So what's been going on with you?
A whole lot, honestly.
Do tell.
So, gaming-wise, I think I left off saying I beat Days Gone last week, but this week I started Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm about 30 hours into it, and I'm liking it a lot. It's definitely a lot more of, same old Assassin's Creed, at least the newer games. But something about it, I love the setting. It's beautiful. It runs really well on the PS5. And something about it, just going along the grassy hills on horseback, it's just very relaxing. And something I really love about this game are the raids. Basically, you can pull up in your boat or you can stroll up to whatever settlement, right? Basically, the raids are churches or a little town around the church. And you have to pillage it, find the treasures, slaughter the enemies. But something is so fun about strolling up to these churches with 8 of your dudes or dudettes, and you're just slaying soldiers, burning the town, stealing the treasures. It's freaking cool. And a lot of these, the bigger story missions, you have to kind of invade a castle. So it's an all-out war. Basically, you have 20 plus soldiers fighting all of their soldiers. And here you are running in between, breaking down doors so people can advance. And it's a lot of fun. At first, when I was playing this game, I was kind of bored. I was I've played too many open world games lately, and I'm burnt out. But once I got to England, things really changed. And it has a few of my favorite things, like base building, good stealth, and a lot of the things I enjoyed from Odyssey are back in it. So it's been a fun time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I do get burnt out with the open world still. So on the flip side, I've been playing a couple different indie games to fill the monotony, I guess you could say. And those are Shovel Knight.
Nice.
I'm finally got a little bit further into it. I'm just playing the regular version for now. I'm going to definitely play the DLCs after, but loving it. I can't believe I slept on this game for so long.
I still need to pick that one up. I have it. I need to play it. So it's another one.
Definitely get the Treasure Trove edition because it usually goes on sale a lot on Steam or anywhere. And it has all the DLC then. So not a bad deal. Yeah. I started playing Bug Snacks. I've almost beat it.
Nice.
It's a game. It is creepy because feeding these little creatures food, it changes their body parts into the food, right? Later on in the game, you can make it so if you want them to be all one item, they can turn into that. So I have the farmer dude who's this tall, lanky dude, right? He's a big pickle. And this other lady is a hot dog. It's funny. It's a fun game. It's very simple, very easy, and the puzzle mechanics of it, trying to capture some of these, can be really interesting. There are some that are very aggravating, and that's why I kind of gave up on it towards the end. But it's fun. There's definitely kind of adult humor in it, in the sense that there's some melancholy and some interesting jokes, but nothing, it's still pretty child friendly. It would be jokes that would go over a kid's head.
Right.
But that was really fun. I'm glad I got it for free when I did. Nice. And then I've been playing Donut County.
Oh, that's one where you're the hole, right? Playing as a raccoon.
Yeah. I've been really interested in a lot of Annapurna games lately, especially with all your talk about Journey and stuff, and realizing I still need to play Journey.
God, it's only like 2 hours long.
I feel like all their games are like with Donut County, it's like a 2 hour long game, and I've just been really milking it, and enjoying it, and it's a simple, fun little game. Like, I'm playing it on Game Pass right now, and I think it's totally worth that price. Like, I wouldn't pay full price for the game.
Yeah, no.
Because it is pretty short. But I love it. It's simple. It's easy. It's a good little indie filler in between other games. And it makes me really want to dive into Annapurna's other games, because I know they have a huge catalog. And I actually this is the last game we'll talk about. This game, I remember when it came out, it was like an episodic release, right? I remember episode 1 and 2 came out pretty quickly, I think within a 6-month window. And then episode 3, I think, took like 5 years or something, 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And then they just finished it, Kentucky Route Zero.
Oh, yeah. That's one of those that's been on my like list to play as well.
I just started it, and I kind of wish like I would make this like a main focus kind of game, because it definitely needs your attention. Like, I went into it thinking, oh, this is going to be another little simple indie adventure game where you can kind of just follow along and it's easy to understand. Oh, no. There's a lot going on with this game. And when I was playing it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just weird, but it's cool. Like, you actually can drive along a map to different locations that you talk to people about in the stories. Like, I'm still only in Act 1, but it's so broad that I'm like, what do I do? Like, yeah, I follow along with what they say, but it's open-ended too. It's such a fascinating game, and I guess I was really interested in it because I noticed in some Game of the Year award stuff, it was nominated in certain categories, and I'm like, really? This game? Like, I remember people were hating on it because it took so long to finish. But now it's getting praised everywhere, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to see what it is. And it's interesting. It's definitely some kind of like Twilight Zone, like, it's just really interesting. You kind of have to play it to understand it, but I'm really enjoying a little bit that I played of it.
Yeah, I definitely have to check that one out for sure.
Aside from that, like, just following the stocks and all that and all the other crazy news in the world. But what's your update all about this week? You play anything?
I haven't really been playing much lately, but I have been watching some games. The one main game that's on my radar right now that I really, really want to pick up is Skull the Hero Slayer. That game looks so cool. Have you checked that one out? You have. Dude, this is a game that you would love. So it's a roguelike game where you play an adorable little skeleton and you pick up different skulls along the way, and each skull is basically a different class, giving you different abilities and things like that. And it's all randomized, right? Because roguelike. Right. And they have like legendary skulls that give you like different like crazy abilities. Like, it's just all really, really cool stuff, and you can build your character up along like with different artifacts and stuff like that to go, like, kind of go with whatever skulls you're working with, or if you're trying to hunt down a specific one for your run, you can kind of spec to that and hope that you get it with the RNG. But it's just, everything about it looks amazing. The art is great, it's beautiful. It's, it's pixel art, but it's done so well, and like the animations are really, really smooth. Like, it just it looks like it's a game that feels really good.
The aesthetic really reminds me of a combination of, I guess the character is like Hollow Knight, but meets Monster Boy.
Yeah.
Like, it looks a lot like the Monster Boy games.
Yeah.
And dude, something about the aesthetic and everything, it makes me really want to play it. Like, it actually looks really good.
Instantly,
I'm surprised
right?
I haven't heard about it.
The UI of it, like, everything looks super smooth, really quick.
It looks
easy.
cozy almost.
Exactly. It's almost like one of those, like, it's a roguelike with a lot of mechanics hidden behind it, but the way it's presented to the player doesn't feel overwhelming, or it doesn't appear to be overwhelming. I haven't played it yet, but from what I've watched. So
is it a roguelike in terms of like Hollow Knight, kind of like Dark Soulsy, or is
when
it
you
like...
die, you start fresh. You lose everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like a progression system? Like if you die...
From what I can tell, there's unlocks within the base, I believe. And then you kind of can carry those over. I'm not sure if like your artifacts and things like that carry over, but I know that when you die, you start fresh with your basic skull again, and you have to start like over on that sense. So if you get like a legendary skull during your run, you're going to lose it if you die. But there's a story behind it where like the humans are attacking the Demon King, where like they kidnapped him, and your goal is to go and save the Demon King. So like there's a story that like unlocks as you progress.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I definitely need to keep an eye on this because, this is the kind of game I would play.
Yeah.
So
right now it's only on Steam, I guess, but if this got ported to like the Switch, that'd be fantastic.
It says it will. It says sometime first quarter. It looks like it'll go to all big platforms.
Yeah, as soon as it hits the Switch, I think it's done. Like with the way this looks and everything like that, it just looks too clean to pass up. Then, as far as not on games aspects, right? For me, my big focus has really been the drawing challenge that I set up this month. Almost done. I only got 3 more drawings left to go, and I'm really happy that I actually am able to. Like so far, it looks like I'm gonna actually finish it, and I've been able to post consistently a drawing every single day, and like the community, like really thank you guys for all the nice words and everything like that. Like it's been really awesome to hear a bunch of people's feedback on that aspect, because it's been really fun to draw them. That's for sure.
Yeah, the artwork you've been doing, like knowing that you've done it like that day of, like it's really well done.
Yeah, like to kind of put a timestamp on it, the last one I did, the Magman, the little fire guy, I did that one yesterday, and I think it took me like 2 hours to do that. Yeah, so like in the beginning, those drawings were set up a few days in advance, right? Like it just because I was afraid I wasn't going to actually be able to finish this again. So I wanted to get kind of ahead, or at least 1 day ahead. And then that quickly just failed on me. So those literally became, I go to work 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., come home, relax for a second, and then start drawing, and then post that same day. So it's been pretty crazy trying to get them done, but I'm really happy with the way that they're coming out. And I think the kind of having that crunch time and knowing that the deadline is literally today is kind of forcing me to turn my brain off for a second while drawing and just go.
Yeah.
Just shut up and draw, basically. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been working out pretty well. So I'm really happy with it. And then I got another one lined up for next month, and I'll have to let you guys know about it. I'll let you guys know about it in the next episode, because I want to get some information going. It's created by an Instagram guy, and I want to get his name in and all that stuff and really give him credit for it, because it's a really cool sounding idea. And it's going to go in great because I'm actually going to pull one of the game design ideas that I have that I've been wanting to work on for a few years now, and I haven't really like been able to flesh it out and put it on paper. I'm actually going to be focusing on that concept for this next month's drawing challenge. So it's going to be really exciting. So I want to get some information laid out before I kind of let you all know what's going on.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying both of the little events going on with Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, Joystick January is going super strong still, and it's great. Like, the community seems to be really, really loving it, so it's been really fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do some more plans for the next coming months. I have one kind of set up for March that I'm thinking about. It's not going to be a month-long event, but it will be like a week-long.
Okay, cool.
Because I feel like I kind of want to do like some week-long events just because they're a little...
It's less daunting. It's more inviting to people, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good starter, but seeing how well this one did, I'm excited to see what will come next.
I'm excited for potentially... we've kind of talked about this before, but I think it might be coming up to that time where we might have to start setting up some giveaways for people and all that
Mm-hmm.
goodness. So look out for that stuff. You can follow us on the socials to get all that information, and we will be, talking about it in these episodes as well. But if you want that information right away, make sure to follow us on the socials in order to get all that info and all that excitement. So, yeah.
Yay.
All right. So going into today's episode, I'm actually really excited about this one. It's very different than what we've done so far. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just lay out that concept for you. Today, I'm sure you can tell from the title of the episode, we make a game. That's the whole goal for today's episode. And the way we're going to do this is we're kind of going to be improving this. We're going off the cuff completely. Right. And we are going to be using a random game idea generator, specifically let's make a game.inc, which is a fantastic little generator. If you're looking for a random idea generator for, let's say, a game jam or something like that, or just a school project, I wish I would have known about this website while I was still attending Full Sail University, because I definitely would have used it while making some of these little projects for my classes. But we're going to be running through those. Each one of us are going to click it a couple times because we don't want to just keep clicking until we find something that is amazing and perfect, right? We want to make it a little challenging on ourselves. So we might limit it to about three rolls each. And then from there, we're going to pick our favorite one and kind of expand on that title and see how far we can get to fleshing out a game idea. So
yeah, I'm really excited for this. I've been playing around with it all evening and all morning, and some of the ideas I've gotten are so far out there and awesome that I wish I knew how to make games so I could do these.
Yeah, some of these ideas are pretty bonkers, but some are really, really cool. And the way that let's make a game.net sets it out, it's just really clean, clear, and you can actually like easily visualize what these games might be. And they all sound like actual games that you could potentially play.
Yeah, and for those listening at home but they can't pull up how this idea generator looks, basically there's 4 little categories, right? There's the genre, so what kind of game is it? There's a rule, so the rule, basically I feel like that would be considered like a theme or a major theme, or not a theme, but it would be like, what would you classify the rule as?
I would say the rule is.
It seems like it's so different.
I would say the rule is. I would call it the MacGuffin.
The gameplay?
I would say it's the MacGuffin, right? And sorry, that's a term that a lot of people probably don't really know, but it's it's like a video. It's a movie terminology where basically it's the core of the plot, or what's the reason why they're doing this. And I feel like the rule kind of is the core of the game, so that's the reason for the game. So we have the genre for the game, and then you have the reason for the game is the rule. So it's
gotcha.
That's kind of how I kind of put them together, but it can be up for interpretation, and it's just something to really kind of concrete your idea a little bit more.
Yeah, it basically kind of goes off of like whatever the word is that they put there for you. You kind of get like a grasp of like what it would be. Then the other setting is setting. So what era, what kind of world, that. And then lastly, the theme.
Yep. Which I would argue, most important part.
Yeah, I think the theme and then like genre make it really interesting.
Yeah, rule and setting are fantastic for like game mechanics. So I think genre theme, perfect for our stories, rule and setting for game mechanics, and really what makes the game fun. Cool.
I feel like I know how to make a game now.
There you go. Yeah. The hardest part is getting it out on paper. So I think that this is a really fun exercise, and I think that a lot of people should kind of everyone should do this if you're in a creative aspect, or just really just throw things out there. I've done some drawing things on there too, where you just kind of scribble a line, or you see like a blob and you have to make something out of it. So being able to challenge your brain like this is fantastic for anybody, even if you're not in a creative field. So, all right. So let's start that roll. I'll go first because I really, really like this idea a lot. This is amazing. All right. So it is a platformer painting game for the genre. The rule is color changes everything. Setting is the post-apocalypse, and the theme is prejudice.
I can see the first three working, but I'm trying to think of like prejudice.
Well, prejudice is where you
Like,
get your story. That's where everything kind of comes in, where like it's post-apocalypse, right? So
Right.
there has to be some sort of rebel faction and people who are doing really well. And I think
Right.
that's where like your prejudice comes in, where it's kind of like that Robin Hood story where you're trying to take from the people who have probably taken everything from you and try and roll with it. I think this one has some legs. I think I would love to kind of expand on this one, but let's see what else we get for our rolls before we dive in.
I'm still thinking about that, man. I got like 5 new ideas what I would add to it. I'm thinking like the Paper Mario color splash where people like take all the color and you have to bring it back. But yeah,
That's good.
You ready for one of mine?
Let's hear it.
All right. Genre is cooking and FPS.
Interesting.
Rule is limited visibility. The setting is ancient Rome. And the theme is good versus evil.
Huh. Cooking
FPS.
That's interesting. I don't know where Rome
I'm
really
thinking
goes
like
into
Cooking
it.
Mama Meets Doom.
Oh, yeah.
With Rome, you could be like Caesar's chef.
Caesar is hungry.
I don't know. He's hungry.
Caesar hangry, and
you're like half blind for your limited visibility.
Okay. Instead of like Colosseum gladiator matches, it's chef matches, and
it's like Iron Chef, but
literally iron
Battle
like,
Royale,
like iron shackles and like helmet. Right, your helmet is giving you tunnel vision, and you have to go and collect your like kind of Battle Chef Brigade, right? Where you go out, collect your actual like your materials that you're going to use to cook with, and it could be other combatants as well, because you're fighting each other to get these ingredients, and then you have to cook for Caesar and try and become the ultimate cooking gladiator.
I like this.
Could be interesting.
I mean, are the people you're fighting evil though? Because it's good versus evil. So I'm thinking like,
well, maybe the underlying thing is Caesar's the evil. You're in the morally gray, but you're forced to do these things.
Morally gray.
Well, because you're attacking other people too.
My cooking skills don't get in the way.
No. You become Luke Skywalker.
Oh God.
We are the gray, and Caesar is the dark side. Oh, geez. Okay. Here's another one that could be really interesting. So it's a bullet hell game. The entire game is on one screen. Another post-apocalypse game, but the theme is detective.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So a bullet hell detective game where everything's on one screen and it's post-apocalypse again.
You're really liking that post-apocalypse, man.
My random generator just keeps bringing that to me, so
it's a sign.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Detective, bullet hell. Maybe ideas are shooting at you like bullets, and you have to decide like you have to dodge those like fake ideas or bad ideas. I don't know.
Oh, what if like while you're interrogating people or trying to get information out of them, it's actually like a bullet hell minigame where their counter arguments or them going like trying to be shady and hide things from you are the enemies that you're then trying to dodge, or the bullets you're dodging.
I see it now. Yeah, kind of like a shoot 'em up a little bit. Like their thoughts are like the bullets and like
maybe the like
what
the
you want are the
answers
ships.
That you like the less you seem trustworthy to the person, the more bullets you have to dodge. Like the stronger the enemies become based off of your choices, decisions, and your dialogue trees.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Sounds really interesting and different.
Maybe. It could be a fun one. Let's see. All right. So this is going to be my last one. All right. So we have a horror puzzle platformer where no one can see you. The setting is in the military, and the theme is a family drama.
Oh my god.
This is really dark.
It is very dark.
I'm just thinking of like it sounds like Full Metal Jacket, the game almost. Because that game where the guy, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but the guy who ends up killing himself in the end, it really feels like he couldn't have been. It could have been saved if someone actually like saw him theoretically, like quote unquote. If they saw what the traumatic events were doing to him, with like being degraded down to the level that they did. So really, maybe that's like the no one can see you thing is. You need to make sure that you're hiding your true emotions while getting through this because it's in the military and they're trying to build up the whole idea of it being like a family because you're fighting one like with each other right next to each other. You have to protect each other in war, right? So maybe that's kind of the angle on it. I don't know.
Repeat it one more time because I have an idea, but I'm thinking of a wrong genre. Maybe I can't remember the genre.
Okay, so it's a horror puzzle platformer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horror puzzle platformer.
It's a family drama where no one can see you set in the military.
I'm almost thinking like you're playing like a soldier's like dark thoughts and you're trying to escape the dark thoughts.
That's better. I like that where it's all in your head.
Like I don't like playing into like mental illness and stuff with these kind of things, but I could see like PTSD. Like it's basically like a soldier fighting like his inner thoughts of past experiences.
I do like that though.
And that's like the horrors of the demons. So he's trying to get past it, but he has to like do puzzles and shit in his mind.
I really like that concept a lot just because it kind of speaks to the whole reason why I first got interested in game design. And that was the game, That Dragon Cancer, where it was a game designed not for like the idea of fun in this sense. It was more designed for helping people cope with certain situations, and that one specifically was dealing with grief and loss. But this one could be a game kind of geared towards helping people deal with PTSD and kind of bringing that to the light for others who might not have actually dealt with that in their life.
I like that.
That's interesting. All right, so what's your last roll? What do we got?
Well, I actually got two more. So I got Dating Sim and Runner, Inconvenient Superpower, Cyberpunk, and Pursuit. And I'm thinking, like Bit Trip Runner, right? Okay. You're running, you have your dating sim, so you're kind of like chasing after the one you want. Okay. And you got a, let's just say something that won't go away, right? And due to the cyberpunk setting, they have all these like fancy things out there that make you like...
What if it's on the internet?
To last. Ooh.
Like that's where the game's taking place. So it's through...
So it's like Tinder.
Yeah, basically.
But runner.
Yeah. Like your little avatar is what's running. And like when you do messages or things like that to the person, then that's what gives you like potential speed boosts or things like that.
Gotcha. But if you fuck up a message,
you can get like
then your character
you could get blocked, and maybe it puts up like barricades in your way, and you need to dodge those. So
who are you being pursued by? Your ex?
Yeah, it has to be.
The government.
Yeah, right. It's the government. They're looking for. It's actually malware. That's it.
Oh my god.
Which makes sense, honestly. I would say ex-girlfriends, but okay. Pornhub. So yeah, your true desires. Let's see. So, but inconvenient superpower. What is that like? I can produce water twice a week but only whenever it's a full moon. Is that an inconvenient superpower? Like what kind of superpower would be fitting for this environment?
I'm trying to keep this PG, so let's see. Inconvenient superpower.
There's explicit tags. It's fine.
True. How about this? And I'm talking about your whole body as a whole. What if I'm thinking about the whole full moon shit that you're talking about here? Every full moon, you are a attractive, like very beautiful person. I'm trying to be like gender neutral here with this. A very attractive person. But as soon as the full moon is over, you're undesirable. So your pursuit in the runner is in midnight, you're supposed to like make all these scores in your run.
And you're like
pursued you're pursued by the sunlight. And once midnight is over, you're screwed.
So you need to actually meet with someone before your time limit. So it's like a werewolf game.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a werewolf game.
Huh. Well, that went
Twilight 2021.
Oh God. Surprised they didn't do that
so from
already.
Right? That'd be a fun like remake.
Yeah, right. There you go. There's the reboot for Twilight. You're welcome.
Oh God.
Hey everybody, just jumping in real quick. Just want to say, first of all, thank you for continuing listening, and obviously you're enjoying it because you've reached the middle of our episode. But before we continue on, we just wanted to remind you all that if you are truly enjoying what you're hearing and you want to learn some more about us, you can find us on social medias, and we have links in our description, and you can find me and all the drawings that I'm doing on Instagram at Kieran, and that's Keuran. What about you, Chris?
You can find me at Sloppy Cube on Instagram. That's Sloppy and Cube at the end of it. I do all retro games or just games in general, so if that's your thing, check me out. You can also message me about ideas and anything, because I love talking.
Yep. We both really enjoy talking, obviously, because we are recording a podcast. So if you want to join in the conversation, please reach out to us on the Discord, and let's get right back into this episode.
For my last idea, we're going to do stealth as a genre, side effects as the rule.
Okay.
For this setting, we got alternate history, and the theme is myth. So I can already think of a few things with this. I'm thinking...
I really like all those words. Like, those are...
Of all the things, this actually seems like it could be a game.
Yeah.
Like, it keeps it very broad. I'm more so thinking alternate history. What would be some good things for stealth in that? Are we thinking like things that could change the world? Like, are we like assassins? Like, are we gonna assassinate like
I'm almost getting like a roguelike vibe from that, where alternate history is like the procedurally generated environments that you would be running through.
I like that. And I'm thinking, so you're doing stealth, right? What's a bad side effect? Oh, your character has inconvenient burping, or like he's flatulating a lot, like, right? Like, so like during a mission, like you could get in trouble because your character will fart really loud. And, if you're not in a very quiet space, like you're going to get found. And the mythology or the myth part of it, I don't know, it could be like, that's the alternate history. You're jumping through different myths, right? You go Norse mythology. So you'll be like Thor trying to, I don't know, throw a hammer at Odin or something, and you have to get close to him to do it, but you might burp because all the alcohol you drank. Or with, what do we call it?
Oh, wait. Okay. So wait. Something just clicked. So for side effects, and if it's mythology, I'd say thinking Hades runs, right? So you get boons and bounties from the different gods that you interact with. So you're trying to you're stealthing out of Olympus. That's the goal. And along the way, you're getting different like bounties or boons from the gods. If you use them too much, or there's a random chance, kind of like Kingdom Hearts, where randomly if you used your ultimate, you ended up becoming like a heartless version of Sora. If you like, maybe there's a chance that that boon is going to have a negative effect on you. So let's say you have Hermes' ability. His little side effect on you is that you have super speed for a moment, or you're able to move really quickly. Maybe not super speed for stealthing. But if you like, there's a random chance that when you use it, you get ultimate fatigue, where you're just super slow for a while.
I like that. That's kind of better what I'm thinking right now. But
why are you escaping Olympus? What's the goal? Or are you trying to escape? Well, I don't want to make Hades.
What if you wanted to become mortal, and that's why you're escaping Olympus?
Ooh, okay. So why do you want to be mortal? What's the goal?
Because you're in love with a mortal.
There you go. I think that's.
I mean, love is like the most powerful thing that would make someone want to be, like, change, right? So I'm thinking, like, what else? Like, I don't know. Are you sick of Zeus being your dad or something? Like, I want to be human. I'm sick of dealing with these gods.
It's not relatable.
Like,
Yeah, it's not strong enough. I think that, it has to be you're in love, you're trying to escape, and Zeus doesn't want you to because you're a god. And then you get help from the other gods because they understand, because they've had those same feelings and maybe they've even tried before. And you learn that through your playthroughs. Like when you...
I like this idea.
That's really good.
Because I'm thinking also like Norse mythology, so it'd be like you're escaping Valhalla.
That's cool too. Oh, wait, if it's Valhalla, okay. Valhalla, they... Just thinking about it, we're like... You die in battle. That's the ultimate glory. You get to drink in the halls of Valhalla for eternity. Well,
right.
Maybe you did have your glorious death in battle, but it wasn't enough for you. You want more. So now you're trying to escape Valhalla to go and fight again, because like the desire is too high.
You're sick of dying and going back to the same goddamn beer hall.
Yeah. The same light beer over and over again for 5,000 years.
Yes.
And you're tired of it.
We got it. This is the game.
Good.
Let's make this game. I'm sick of my light Coors Light. Like, I'm going to escape the halls of the dead and drink.
You could really go for Pabst. No.
Dark stout. Yes, a Pabst. Great American beer.
Yeah. Okay, a Valhalla dwarf guy. I really want an American beer.
I'm sick of this Valhalla beer. It's too warm. I need an ice cold Pabst.
Haven't they ever heard of a fridge? Yes, I like this a lot. Okay. This is a fun concept because it's like, okay, everyone can understand the love story, but this is more fun. Like you're trying to go back and fight. You want to keep fighting. You're done. You're bored.
Yeah. You're sick of the warm beer. You want to get out and explore.
Yeah. Okay. That's so. Is this one we're going with? I really like it.
I think we're going with this.
Okay.
We could even combine this with your top pick.
Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, mine would be the color painting one, I think.
Interesting.
But you know what? I say let's not muddy it, because I think we have something really good with this stealth game.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's run through the 4 core concepts that we have right now again. What are they?
So for genre, it's stealth. Rule the side effects. Setting is alternate history, and theme is myth.
Okay. All right. So for this, we need to find out where's the fun, right? We have a really good, I feel like we have a perfect little story background for it right now. Like that theme is perfect. Like that's going to draw the player's eye. That's going to get them into wanting to play this game. So now what's the mechanics? Like we all know stealth games, but what's going to set this one apart?
I think the side effects, kind of, because I'm thinking about like the boons and stuff, right? Like you're talking about, but I'm also thinking like what I was saying originally, where they have like some kind of problem, right? I'm thinking like kind of like Rogue Legacy, where your character coughs every once in a while, or there's another game that does that where they make sounds, so it screws up your.
What about each time you die? Because instead of getting caught, they just kill you because you're dead anyway, and you get sent back to Valhalla. It's a different, like, depending on how you get killed, it affects you in the next run.
Your next run.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So, like, let's say you get, I don't know, like, shot with an arrow through the neck. The next time you start running through, you might develop a cough.
Or you can't eat to heal.
There you go.
Because your throat's messed up.
Yes, there you go. And there's the challenge.
If you get hit in the head, like if you get a headshot or something, right? Your next run, like your thinking is mixed up. So,
what if like the world like kind of glitches out on you?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, where like let's say you can see an enemy on the map, and then all of a sudden you don't see anything, but then they're there again. But it's one of those things where like you kind of just lose. It's almost like losing consciousness for a moment because you got hit in the head.
I like that.
Yeah.
Or it could be like a confusing thing. So, say I'm imagining this game to kind of look like Hades, but the enemy is like, say you go into a room, and this is playing off if you got hit on the head. Instead of enemies in the room, it could be like, I don't know, bouncing teddy bears or something, like something lovable and cute. And you're like, oh, they're friendly NPCs, but actually like they attack you.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So your mind, like you can't think, you can't correlate that, oh, these could be bad guys.
All right, let's say you lose an eye on a run, and well, okay, this kind of depends. Let's say, is it top-down game? Is it first person? Are we looking at third person? What kind of style game are we looking at? I know you mentioned Hades, and I do like the idea of the top-down perspective, especially for stealth games. There's that.
Yes.
What was that one? The Spy Inc. That I think does that angle very well. The 3/4 view.
Oh, Invisible Ink.
Invisible Ink. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really well done. So maybe, I can't even remember what that's.
Either top-down or third person, because first-person stealth games can eat a butthole. Yeah. Like, I hate first-person ones so much. Yeah.
So what about like isometric view? I like that.
Yeah, I think that works too, because that's basically top-down, but
So okay,
in a more pretty viewpoint.
So we're going top-down. So let's say you get hit in the eye, or you lose your eye in one run.
Fog of War.
Exactly. Fog of War for the next one. You have only like a very limited amount of area around you that you can actually see. So now stealthing is crazy hard. Maybe one run you lose your hearing, so all you hear is your like maybe for game audio wise, because the player still needs something, obviously background music, but maybe you just hear like
fuzziness.
Yeah. Like a fuzz of what's going on. So you have a general sense that there's something there, but you're not 100% certain.
Like you won't hear it unless, say, you're like behind the wall next to them. Then if they're big, you'll hear them walking. If they're small like you won't hear them at all.
All right. So combat, yes or no?
What do you mean?
Like, do we have actual combat in it, or is it you get caught and it's like, boom, done? Like,
oh, I hate those kind of games, honestly. I hate when it's like pure stealth where like if you get caught, it's game over. Like I'd rather like, let's make it, because it's Valhalla.
Yeah, you're a fighter.
Right? You're a fighter. You gotta escape. But you're weak because you've been in too many fights, right?
Well, and you're going against the what are they called? I can't remember. The Valkyries.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. The Valkyries are what are hunting you down. So they are like demigods in their own sense. So
I like that. And
you're just a lonely spirit.
There would be a progression system. So, I mean, obviously you could get stronger over time.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that.
So with the progression system, because I love that in different roguelike games, are we talking artifacts or are we talking something different?
I'm thinking like a mixture between Rogue Legacy and Hades.
Mhm.
Like you build up like your room, or you can build up the beer hall, or
Mhm.
the different assets of like Asgard. I mean, maybe Asgard could be like the whole first area
Yeah.
that you're trying to get out of, because that's the big city.
Or maybe like every time you go to a beer hall, you can, with the coin that you get on your run, you can buy a buddy a drink, and that buddy might have a story to tell, or he lets you know how he fought when he was there, or right, like he gives you some sort of ability, and that's how you unlock
He
it.
could be like your typical quest giver, like, oh, I left something in Asgard. If you're out there, can you bring it back for me?
Yeah.
And if you die and you bring it back, he'll like give you a boon or an artifact or something. Like,
Maybe it's the first person that ever went to Valhalla. That's like your
ooh,
guide. So you've been there for let's say
that's the bartender.
Let's say you've been there. Exactly. Yes. Let's say you've been there for like 5,000 years. This guy's been there. No one knows how long. He doesn't even remember how long he's been there. So of course he's going to have some ins and outs and kind of know his way around Valhalla and Asgard and all that. And that's why you might be collecting things for him, because he's already tried this escape before and he knows it's futile, but you need something to pass the time, and that's free entertainment, watching you as a player go through it. But he never lets you know that.
Yeah, he just overwatches you the whole time.
And it turns out he's actually Odin.
Exactly. It would make sense because he's the keeper of ravens, so the ravens are watching
Yep.
you. Or, you could add something to it, to the maps. There's a raven hidden on some of them, and if you find it and kill it,
Oh.
if you say you're in Asgard, right, and you're all throughout, like, say there's like five rooms and then a boss, or just something like that. If you kill the raven in like the first area, so Asgard, you can't be watched anymore. So any run after that, it could be easier.
What if it's okay? Let's say 5.
Because Odin doesn't want you to escape.
Exactly. So what if it's like 5 rooms and boss fight? Let's say we're going with that mechanic or that layout.
Yeah.
So each level is going to have a hidden crow. If you find the crow and you kill it, then you get a crow feather, and it's just an artifact that you have on you. It's an item that you're carrying with you. And for each crow feather you find, it makes the boss fight at the end easier, whether it's less health for that boss, or you get your strength, or maybe your attack and crit rates, or each feather boosts a different stat maybe for that specific boss fight. So first feather gives you extra health, second feather gives you extra strength, third feather gives you a higher crit chance,
I like
so
this.
on and so forth. So you can go to the final boss, or to the boss of each stage, without a feather. It's just going to be a little bit harder than if you happen to get one of these little boosts. And it could just be like 1.25% crit chance increase. But to players, that's huge. That's something that's a higher crit chance. So of course, I'm going to try and find this feather. Or it could be, 20 extra health for your run. And with a roguelike game, 20 extra health is everything.
Are we going to make it permanent where if you kill it one run, like you always have those feathers on you? Because you could, if we do that, imagine you've killed all the ravens, right? You unlock a special...
That's your skill points, is the raven feathers. So that's the permanent.
That's true.
So that's it right there.
Okay, that works too.
Keep it simple, right?
How about this? Say you kill all the ravens, you unlock the special enemy. You can fight Odin, the barkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like super freaking powerful, or you'll get wrecked. So you have to like progress multiple times in order to get stronger.
Yeah. And let's say like maybe the opening scene for that fight is we take it straight from The Shining. It's 100% of it from The Shining, where you have Jack sitting at the bar, the bartender's behind you, and like it's a full bar. Everyone's partying, because it's Valhalla. Everyone's just rowdy. It's a whole bunch of fighters there. And then as you're talking to him in the final scenes, then you, the player, or not, the player probably already knows this, but the character has the realization that this bartender isn't just another spirit that's stuck there. He's actually Odin. And then we pan out, and then the whole bar is cleared out. There's no one there, and it's just you and Odin. And then it goes back to the bartender, and the bartender is in his full god form of Odin, just cleaning a glass. And he's like, well, you finally figured it out. And then, boom, final fight.
Ooh. That could work. I'm also thinking, what if... So how you were saying the bar is empty, right? What if the bosses that you fight fill up the bar once you
it
beat them?
Replaces the people there and they start going?
Yep. And you can put on a difficulty modifier later on where each time you, say each run you do, the next time you hit that boss, it could be a little bit harder. If you wanted to keep that difficulty instead of progressing where they're easier. But yeah, we just make a lot of bosses, right?
What if the bosses, okay, since you beat them, they end up in the Grand Hall with you, and they give you, like, you can like go up to Loki at the bar and talk to him and buy him a drink or whatever it may be. And maybe he has like a different weapon or ability that he can give you because of that. Or every time you talk to him after a run, he has something different to say to you. Kind of pulling that from Hades just because I love that concept so much.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be pulling a lot from Hades because it's just a good idea.
Yeah, it's a perfect game.
And I think it really is. And I think that, yeah. Oh, God, there's so many possibilities you could do with this.
I really like this game. I want to play it.
Can we just... Fuck it, I'll learn the code. Let's do this.
I think we need to. This is awesome.
I know.
All right. So, wait. Ultimate, though. What's our name? What's the name of the character and the name of the game?
So, the name of the game, they actually have another generator on that website called Game Idea or Game Title Generator.
Wow. What a really...
I mean, we could use that, but it's probably going to be totally different than what we're making. But I'm going to give 3 examples of ones I just got.
Curious.
War of the Rodeo Dystopia.
All right, sold. Yep. All right, let's... What?
Unforgettable Bobsled Playhouse. What? Ooh, Combat Crowbar Assassins. I like this. TurboTax Max.
TurboTax? Like...
Oh, Turbo Murder. Never mind. Oh, God.
What a great game. TurboTax Max. Who can do their taxes the best?
Yeah, exactly. Now on Steam.
Yeah. Get the best refund. I mean, they have dumber games on Steam. And they have, like, what, multiplayer solitaire now? That's...
What?
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't.
I think it's called...
I don't know if I want to.
I think it's called
now.
Nerds, where everyone's playing solitaire at the
Nerds?
fast, and you have to be like win the fastest or whatever.
Yeah, let's make a game. If anybody can make a multiplayer solitaire, we can make something fun too.
Yeah. That's what gets me.
How about this?
Sometimes.
This name, Spunky Disco Fiesta.
Okay. I like it, and maybe we can kind of throw in some really cool, like Disco Elysium kind of vibey music
beats.
Yeah.
And
then the lighting is a little like Technicolor to it, so we have this like really cool grand hall scenes, but it's a little like you have some fluorescence going out throughout the whole thing. I like it.
Yes, like imagine the visuals of Hades, but like each room has kind of like maybe a disco ball or something. I don't know.
I like it.
That changes colors.
Now for a name.
Ooh, that could be a difficulty modifier. The disco modifier. And basically each room will have a disco ball, right?
There you go.
And it'll change the color of the room, which will change the theme. So say you have fire powers, right? And the room's red, fire will be amplified.
Yep.
But if you have like a water weapon, it'll be weakened.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So that would be like Endgame Plus material.
Yes.
Is the unlock of disco. Okay, so if that's the secret, maybe a different name for the main game.
Yeah. So, main name.
What about the name of the character? So I'm looking at Viking names And one of them that kind of stands out right now.
Fjord. Nord.
Exactly. Anything with a hard.
Horde.
But Leif, Leif, and it means
Leaf. I ain't naming a character after a goddamn
but
tree.
But it means descendant. And if you're going along like this tree of roguelites where you die, start over, kind of rolls with it.
Yeah, I like Bjorn.
What about Ulf?
It's bear.
Which is wolf.
What about Noodle, which is noodle?
Yes. Is there like a this is I can't believe this idea popped in my head. You can tell what kind of age we live in right now, but is there a non-binary Viking name? So that you can kind of pick?
Borglid is pretty good because it's under girls' names. I'm like, well, who would name their kid Borglid in general? But it's defense in battle.
Gunnar.
Gunner's kind of a cool
name. It means
name.
he who stands alone.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. That
and it's Gunnar. Gunnar. Okay, so I think we got a name. I think Gunnar is definitely the name of our character. Now we need a title for the actual game. What are we running with? I'm thinking something kind of like on the play of Odin. Like, what's he known for? He's knowledge, he's wisdom, the crows, his sacrifice of one of his eyes for that knowledge and wisdom.
You could just call it Asgard.
We could just go the easy route.
I'm thinking like Hades. No, it'd be cool to think of something interesting though. Like definitely maybe something with ravens. I don't know.
We could just call it Gunnar, right?
Ooh, that could work. I feel like that'd be really like uninspired, but it would work perfectly.
Gunnar the Unimmortal.
Ooh, that's an edgy title.
Because everyone's like, oh, immortal. Wait, unimmortal? What the fuck is that?
Right.
Stupid. That's what it is.
Space Pogo Fantasy. I like this name. And not for the game. No, we're not calling the game that.
But it's a good name, though. Glory.
Ooh.
Boom. This is the title. So we have our name, we have our setting, we have everything that's going on, which it sounds like a rad game already, honestly. Let's recap what we have right here, because I think we have a really good nugget of a game. This is fun. This is really fun. So let's run through those 4 concepts again that we got from our generator. What were they?
Stealth, side effects, alternate history, and myth.
Okay. All right. We definitely hit on every single one of those aspects. So we have, presenting to you guys, we have Glory. Where the main character, Gunnar, who died in battle and is destined to drink in the halls of Valhalla forever. And guess what? He's bored as hell, and he wants out because all he wants and all he knows is battle. And he misses that. He misses the heat of fighting. He misses the breath that he would lose while swinging his axe and all of
being drenched in blood.
He charging into battle, the adrenaline rush of going against a foe that appears stronger than you and, against all odds, winning the battle. Well, he lost his battle. He's dead, obviously, but whatever. So, cool. We got
the glory of getting anybody they want in the pub to go home with them.
That's right. Because everyone there,
drink.
Everyone there has died once. No one's died twice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Double glory. That's the sequel.
Double glory.
All right, cool. So we got our stealth mechanics in there. What are we doing? We are escaping Valhalla to try and return to the mortal realm just to battle and die again. That's your goal. And you have to remember, for people who don't know, like that, for Viking cultures and stuff like that, that was the core focus for them. It was such a strong ideal, was death in battle is how you attain full glory, right? So you're going through
yes.
There. Okay, cool. Side effects. What are we rolling with?
I think what we were talking about earlier, how like if you get hit in the head, your judgment is mixed up. If you get hit in the eye, like it's kind of like a fog of war kind of thing.
Perfect. So each run gets more difficult based on the previous run before that. So that's going to enhance the idea of the roguelike. So we have it feels like a continuous run, even though it's still the same run. Or you're repeating the runs.
Yeah, basically, depending how you die, you get a debuff. And eventually, over time, if you progress far enough, you can find ways to not be debuffed when you die.
Perfect. I love it. This game's great.
I know. Can I shoot this to like freaking Supergiant so they can just make this?
I know, right? All right, so we got our game. We had a lot of fun doing this. I know I did. So.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think we should do this more often.
I think so too. And maybe next time we do this, we actually do it with submissions from the audience. And I think that would be really, really fun. So, throwing this out there for all you guys listening. If you have an idea for a game or just a concept or just a sentence, a one-word thing to go off of, we will be doing this again because this is just too much fun to not do. So if you want to see what kind of ideas we would have for your concept for a game or an idea or whatever it may be, join the Discord. Jump in with us, join this conversation, and we will be more than happy to put your idea on the air. We'll give you credit for it, of course, and we'll just have some fun with it. We'll play around in this space of ours. We'll throw it in the playground. We'll play around in the sand. We'll make sand castles with it and make something amazing.
And we won't stomp on them.
Or something mediocre and whatever. But, it'll just be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have in the game idea or the episode idea section on the Discord. Yep. And if you have an idea, great, post it. If you don't, but you found this idea interesting, we'll pin this game idea generator to the top under messages, and you can just check the pinned stuff, generate an idea, and just copy what you got, and maybe we'll make an episode or we'll talk about it in our next little idea episode.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys again for listening this week. That's going to do it for us. And bye.
Yep, bye.